Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be working out in the front and in the back garden today, and we are going to be treating our roses for black spots, and we're going to be planting out 3 new roses in our garden. You're probably familiar with black spots. I think a lot of us who have roses have experienced it at one time or another. This year, it really attacked a lot of our roses, and I feel like I've been battling it like the beginning of summertime until I came across a product that has been really working well with our roses, and we're seeing a tremendous improvement in how our plants are looking. I'm going to show you one of our roses that currently has black spot. If you're not familiar with it, black spot is caused by a fungal disease called diplocarpin rosea. This fungus infects the leaves of your roses, is causing it to have black spots, which can eventually lead to leaf drop or defoliation of your roses. So you can see there are these black spots on the leaves of our rose back here, and eventually these spores will spread throughout the entire plant and eventually other roses nearby as well. There are several factors that contribute to the development of black spots. One of them being moist conditions. The fungus thrives in wet environments. So if you have a long period of rain or high humidity, you're probably going to see more of the black spots show up on your roses. The other factors include warm temperatures, infected plant debris, and poor air circulation. That's why we often talk about when you're pruning back your roses, you want to make sure that you remove any debris below in case it's infected with anything, because those spores can live in the soil and continue to impact your plants. So let's go ahead and treat our roses, and then we will move to the front and we will plant the new roses that arrived, which I am so excited about, and I cannot wait to show you guys the plants. This is the product that we're going to be using today. This is the only product that has truly made an impact on our roses for the best. And I'll make sure to link it down below. I think we ordered this one on Amazon, but you can find it at your local garden center. You can buy it online. I think even big box stores have it. Sergey wrote out how much to use, because every time I open one of these containers, as soon as I get the bottle wet, these instructions just become garbage. And they're not useful anymore. But I do recommend you going through the instructions here and just read it thoroughly before you start using this product. There are 2 things that I wanted to call out if you do buy this product. One, you want to make sure that you are reapplying it every 6 weeks. Don't do it any sooner than that. If you do it any sooner than that, it could have adverse impacts to your plants. So I've been doing it every 6 weeks on the dot, and it has helped tremendously. And number 2 is you don't want to apply it when your roses are actively blooming. So make sure you wait until your roses are done with their flush of blooms, and then you want to make sure that you start using the product. So it could be like a week after or a little bit longer, but I try not to do it any sooner than 6 weeks in between each application. The great thing about this product is it's a systemic rose and flower drench, so it's going to work from the inside out. I have tried several sprays before. Gosh, I think Rose RX was one of the ones that we use often, but it just wasn't working well enough. So we started to use this. I talked to a rose gardener, and she recommended this, and it has been a game changer for our roses. So the roses I want to, let's see, I think we'll go ahead and apply it to our Woolerton Old Hall roses here. There are a couple of flowers on it, but it's just done flushing out its blooms. And then I believe I have Teasing Georgia back there, which I think should be done blooming back here in this obelisk. So I think we can apply it to this rose and then this rose out here, and then we will wait to apply it to our Allen Wick. And we have, let's see, one more in the back that's flowering that we'll wait to apply again. All right, so when you're using this product, you just want to make sure you shake it up really well. And I'm going to be wearing gloves, because you should be wearing gloves. Even if it's an organic chemical, you want to make sure you're using gloves. At least I always do. And then you're going to do 1 ounce per gallon of water. So Sergey already measured this out for me. I swear, after reading the instructions once, it just goes out the door. I forget. All right, that should be good. So just water at the base of each plant, and just make sure you allow the soil to absorb some of that water in the product. It does take a few seconds here. We just want to ensure that it doesn't run off from where you need to apply it. So that's why I just kind of go slow, and I'll go to one rose and then I'll come back. Luckily, we haven't had any issues, knock on wood, with our ice cap roses here. We've seen some here and there, but not nearly as bad as we have with our climbing roses, our Eden. Specifically, that one gets it pretty hard, but these look pretty healthy for the most part. And actually, I wanted to show you guys how the Eden climbing roses are doing. These look so much better than they did before. This one is still struggling a little bit. It's still putting on some more growth because we really removed a lot of the leaves that were damaged. And because they were so damaged, they were really just falling off. And now they're looking so much better and so much healthier than before. The other thing we like to do is come in and remove anything that has the black spots in it. That's why some of these roses looked so bare, like down to the bone, because we removed everything. And eventually they were going to fall off as well. But that is something to keep in mind. You don't want to just apply the systemic drench. Eventually those leaves will fall off. So we just come in and we prune them off ahead of time. That way we're not waiting and things are falling to the ground. And then it's becoming this vicious cycle of you're trying to play catch up to keep your roses healthy. So Suri and I will come in. We take turns because it's not something that I like to do, but we'll both come in with little snips. We'll come in and just snip off anything that looks infected, throw it in the garbage. We don't even put it in the yard debris, throw it in the garbage. And then we'll come in and start treating it once we hit that 6-week mark. Our roses always start out strong. And then in the beginning of June, like that first flush is when they start to struggle. Sometimes we'll get some showers during that time. We also have really wet springs here in the Pacific Northwest. So it's always an issue for us. Even when we buy resistant plants, it's just an issue for us. So I'm trying to be more proactive and hopefully not have to use these products so often. I've definitely seen a huge improvement in our roses this season than before. I feel like I'm not trying to, oh gosh, what's the word? Like playing catch up with our roses, trying to just get them looking good. They've been, you know, luckily when we've started using this product, things have been a little bit calmer, not as hectic as it's been with black spots this year, which I'm just keeping my fingers crossed it stays that way. All right, now to the fun part. Let's go plant some new roses. I'm up front with the 3 new roses that we were going to plant in the garden out here, but now I'm having second thoughts of where I was going to put them. Don't you hate when that happens, when you just change your mind last minute? Why am I like this? I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have to pivot a little bit. The good news is I'm very excited about these new roses that we got. These are Princess Charlene de Monaco. I do have one that's somewhat blooming that I got last year and I never planted it. So let me show you what they look like. Let's talk about where I was going to plant them and why I don't think I'm going to plant them there anymore. Here is Princess Charlene de Monaco. She's a hybrid tea rose with large double blooms that are approximately, I think they're about 5 inches in diameter. The bush itself is upright and very, very bushy, typically reaching, I think it's what, 5.5 feet by 2 to 3 feet wide. So she is a very large rose. But oh my gosh, you guys, she's so beautiful. The scent is absolutely incredible. Because this rose can get so tall, that is why I'm having a hard time knowing where to plant it. I had an idea, I had it laid out, but now I came out here and I'm really looking at everything and how we're going to be changing up these beds here in the front. Maybe this fall or this next spring, I'm thinking, is it smart to plant them where I originally wanted to plant them? I think one for sure can go in today. And then I think the other 2, I remember ordering thinking, okay, 2 of them are going to go into the side garden. And we're getting close to the side garden really here kicking off. I think we'll go, well, let's plant one. Let's plant one and see how we feel. and then we will continue on if we need to. I'm just so bummed about it. We actually just got these roses in from Heirloom Roses, and I asked them for a discount code for you guys. And so you do have a 20% discount code. And I think it's active until the 12th of August, if I'm not mistaken. I'll make sure to link all of the details down below in the description box. And if you don't want to plant roses right now, I think you have up to 8 months from when you order it to when you want it delivered. So say you want it for later in the fall time, you can order it now, buy it now, get your discount, and then just have it delivered then. So that is an option if it's too warm where you are and you don't want to plant it, or you're going to be out and you don't want to plant it, or have time. You can order now just to make use of that discount and then receive your roses later. So anyways, this is how the roses came. And of course, their packaging is always so good. I'm always looking forward to receiving packages from them anytime they want to send out roses. I am willing and ready to accept any. So this is the new packaging that they have now. You can plant the whole thing. So here in the instructions, it says, poke 2 holes in the bottom of the bag, give your rose a healthy drink of water, plant within a few days of arrival. This box is biodegradable. Scan to learn more. So you can scan with your phone to learn more. It does come with a zip tie, so you want to make sure you remove the zip tie. I think there was a note in here that said if it's a pink zip tie, then it's biodegradable. Now, the instinct in me wants to remove it from the bag, which I think I will do. I probably need 2 hands for this, but technically you can plant the whole thing, like with the bag. Everything is biodegradable, but you know how I am. I think I might just cut the zip tie and then we will get this into the ground. So we have 2 of those. This is the one from last year that I didn't plant that has the bloom currently on it. And so I think what we'll do is we'll plant one for sure out here. Before I forget, I wanted to show you the other 2 roses that we got. So the first one here is Sally Holmes, and we saw several of these in England. And oh my gosh, you guys, like, why hasn't anybody told me about Sally Holmes? Beautiful, beautiful rose. I want to train it as a climber. And then we have Bathsheba here, which is another beautiful rose. I have been waiting to get this rose for the longest time, and I finally got it. I was so happy that I was able to get one and source one for our garden because it is such a stunner. It's going to make such a beautiful cut flower, and I cannot wait to see its beautiful blooms. But I just wanted to show you that these are the other 2 that I got in our box from our order. So I'm thinking we will plant it right up here where this salvia is, and we can move this light. Hold on, let's move that light. Let's see. I'm thinking like right there. I wanted it to shift over a little bit, but let's see, 2 to 3 feet. So it's not going to get very wide, but like I said, it is going to get tall. Gosh darn it, I really want to plant it right where that salvia is. Oh, goodness. Or do I just plant it right behind it? We could do that, but then the maple is going to grow out. I'm just thinking out loud here, you guys. Let's go ahead and plant it there. I've moved trees before, so I don't know why I am panicking because worst case scenario, I can just move the rose. Like I said, I've moved trees before. I literally moved this tree 2 years ago from another spot and it's thriving. So I don't know why I'm having such a dilemma right now. So I think let's plant that one there. I think that's a good compromise. I'm having a little bit of a dilemma making up my mind. So let's get this one in and then we'll think about the other ones. All right, I'm going to use my little shovel here just because there's a lot of irrigation here that I haven't mapped out and I don't feel like repairing something today. I'm just struggling this month to make some decisions with the garden. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you guys ever have that where you're just can't make up your mind. I'm going to use some rose tone in the hole instead of biotone. I think one of you had mentioned you do that, and I do that sometimes, but some of you have said you've had really great success doing that, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to remove the zip tie. Okay, so there's the zip tie. And then you should be able just to make a couple holes at the bottom of the box in the bag and plant it, but I kind of just want to inspect it. and see what it looks like. I like how sustainable this is. I'm just not used to it. And there's the rose. Oh, the roots look great. I see. So really, this whole bag was biodegradable. Huh. Well, that's neat. Well, now we know that for our other roses that we received from them. I'm just gonna take out this bamboo stake and then place our rose right in there and then just backfill it. All right, we got the rose all watered in. I know it doesn't look like much, but just use your imagination. Think about this beautiful rose just coming up. Again, it's going to get 2 to 3 feet wide, and then it'll grow 5 to 6 feet tall. So hopefully we'll keep it in the 5-foot range. I don't want it to get too massive. But because it's going to be more of an upright rose, we have plenty of room around it to plant some beautiful things. I'm thinking either some salvia or nepenthes, something down here, and then we'll come in with annuals right in front of it next year. So lots of opportunity to do some fun things around the rose just to make sure it's being complemented really nicely. I don't think I've planted any roses in the front yard since we bought this home. Yeah, I think that's the first one. Well, no, I lie. I think I had 2 under our arbor. We used to have an arbor outside of our office window, and there were these like really prickly roses there that I planted. Anyways, but I'm gonna count this as the first one because it's the first one that I really love and it's beautiful and I can't wait and we're doing it together. So I'm going to count it as the first. And more to come, of course. I definitely want to add more roses to our front yard. I'm very excited about that. The other option for the roses is going to be right here. So we have one tucked in over here, just like that. That would be beautiful. The other location would be right over here. However, this bed will change quite a bit because I do want to remove and move out the pineapple lilies. The rudbeckias will also most likely be moved this next spring. So this whole bed will shift a bit. That's what I'm thinking. But it could work. I think that would actually be so stunning right over here, planted with some salvias right underneath. That would look gorgeous. I'm going to give it a couple more days and think about it. Worst case scenario, we can always move them. Ideally, I would love to get these roses planted now. That way in the springtime, they've already had plenty of time to establish themselves. They're going to flower beautifully for us next season. And so they're going to just have a kickstart versus me waiting to plant them next season when we redo the bed. If we do that, that's fine. I have plenty of roses that I've ordered before and I've held on to them and I planted them out the next season. That's fine. It just gives them a head start if we can get them planted now versus having to wait. In the meantime, if you guys have an opinion, let me know down below. I'd love to get your feedback. Like I said, I just need a couple more days to really think about it. It's kind of hard to think about how this bed will change. I have an idea of what we want to do, but in the meantime, you know, things change. You get inspired by something else. You go to England and you see something and you want to redo your whole garden. That's how I'm feeling right now. And so it's like baby steps. And I guess that's a great thing about gardening. You're never really done, right? You're always evolving and changing and planting new things. And I guess that's what makes it so beautiful and always evolving. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in my garden. I hope these tips and tricks for getting your roses recovered from black spots was helpful, and to see how we treat our roses for black spots was insightful, especially because I know a lot of you are struggling with it. Some of you have reached out to me personally and have asked what we've been using, and it really has made a tremendous difference in how our roses look. I'm so happy and thrilled how this product has positively impacted our roses. And so I'm just crossing my fingers that they stay healthy like this, and we'll just continue applying the drench every 6 weeks and up until fall time. So anyways, thank you guys again for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.